Alright guys. Army. This community. Come closer for a second, because what I'm about to tell you is not just another update, not just another rumor, but something that has been quietly shaking the fandom from the inside. You've seen the performances, right? The energy, the visuals, the perfection on stage from Jimin and the rest of BTS during this massive global tour. Everything looks flawless, everything feels controlled, everything seems exactly how it should be. But what if I told you that behind all of that, behind the lights, behind the cameras, behind the moments we think we understand, there's something else happening that no one was supposed to notice? Because recently, something slipped. Not from a random fan account, not from speculation, but from someone who was reportedly inside the system. Someone who had access, someone who saw more than we usually get to see. And according to this insider, while the world was focused on the tour, on the stages, on the performances, Jimin had another agenda. A private one. A quiet one. A meeting that wasn't part of the official schedule. And here's the part that made everything explode. This wasn't just any meeting. It was described as meeting someone special. And you already know. The moment that word entered the conversation, everything changed. Now let's slow down for a second and really think about this together. We all know how intense a global tour is. The schedule is brutal. Rehearsals, travel, media appearances, sound checks, it's non-stop. There's barely any time to breathe, let alone arrange something personal or secret. So if Jimin actually made time for a private meeting in the middle of all that, that means it mattered. That means it wasn't random. That means it was intentional. And that's exactly why fans started asking questions. Not small questions, but big ones. Who was it? Why now? And why keep it hidden? And here's where things get even more interesting, because the location itself adds another layer to the mystery. The meeting was rumored to happen in the United States, with many pointing toward places like Los Angeles, a city known for its deep connections in music, film, and global entertainment. Think about that for a moment. If something major was going to happen behind closed doors, if something big was being planned quietly, that's exactly the kind of place where it would happen. Private studios, exclusive meetings, no cameras, no noise. Just decisions that could shape the future. But of course, the moment this leak started spreading, the fandom did what it always does. Analyze everything. Fans began looking at timelines, tracking movements, comparing schedules, even revisiting past interviews and subtle hints. And suddenly, things that once felt normal started to feel different. Small gaps in the schedule. Moments when Jimin wasn't publicly seen. Tiny details that didn't seem important before now started to stand out. And that's when curiosity turned into something stronger, into a full-blown investigation driven by emotion and connection. Now here's the part where things split into different possibilities. And I want you to stay with me here, because each one tells a completely different story. On one side, many fans believe this could be something professional. A collaboration, maybe. And not just any collaboration, but something big, something international. The kind of project that requires secrecy until the right moment. And honestly, that makes sense. Jimin has always been recognized for his unique style, his emotional expression, his ability to connect through music in a way that feels personal. So the idea of him working with global artists behind the scenes? That's not just possible. It's exciting. But then, there's another side of the conversation. A quieter one, but just as powerful. The idea that this meeting might not be about music at all. That it could be something personal. And whether people openly say it or not, you can feel it in the way fans react. There's curiosity, yes. But there's also emotion. Because when someone like Jimin, someone who shares so much of himself through his art, is connected to the word special, it hits differently. It feels deeper. It feels closer. And that's what makes this situation so fascinating. It's not just about finding the answer. It's about what the possibility of that answer represents. Because if it's a collaboration, we're looking at a new era, a new sound, something that could redefine his artistic path. But if it's personal, then we're seeing a side of him that exists beyond the stage, beyond the performances, beyond everything we think we know. And that's something fans don't just watch. They feel it. But let's not ignore one very important detail here: the silence. There has been no official statement. Nothing confirmed. Nothing denied. And that silence, it's doing a lot of work right now. Because sometimes, silence isn't just the absence of information. Sometimes it's protection. Sometimes it's timing. And sometimes, it's intentional. It keeps the mystery alive. It keeps the conversation going. It keeps all of us right here, wondering, questioning, trying to understand what's really happening behind the scenes. And I want you to notice something else too. Despite all the noise, all the theories, all the speculation, nothing concrete has been revealed. Which means whatever this is, it's being handled carefully. Very carefully. And that alone tells you something. Because in an industry where everything can leak in seconds, the fact that this remains unclear means there's a level of control, a level of importance, a level of privacy that's being maintained for a reason. Now imagine this. Imagine that months from now, something gets announced. A project, a collaboration, a moment that suddenly connects back to this exact time, this exact place, this exact, mysterious meeting. And suddenly, everything clicks. Everything makes sense. That's how these stories usually unfold. Quiet beginnings, hidden moments, and then, a reveal that changes how we see everything that came before it. But until that moment comes, we're here, in this space of curiosity, of anticipation, of connection. And honestly, that's what makes being part of this community so powerful. Because we don't just consume content, we engage with it, we feel it, we analyze it, we share it. And moments like this bring everyone together, not because we have answers, but because we're all searching for them at the same time. So now I'm turning this back to you. What do you think really happened? Do you believe this was a professional move, something big being prepared behind the scenes? Or do you think there's a more personal story here that hasn't been revealed yet? I want to know your thoughts, your theories, your instincts, because honestly, some of the best insights come from you guys. And if you've been hooked into this story, if you felt that curiosity building, if you want to stay updated on every new development that comes out of this, then don't just watch and scroll away. Be part of it. Hit that like button so more people in this community can join the conversation. Subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. And turn on notifications because the moment something new drops, you're going to want to be one of the first to know. And most importantly, drop your thoughts in the comments, because this story, it's not over yet.